Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about another digital win, and that is file cleanup on whatever device you're on. This can be a big thing. It is hard to, just like tidying up everywhere that you can physically touch in the digital realm. I think phones and iPads or tablets of any kind have greatly helped in this area because you don't see all of the file clutter, and it actually does keep things a bit more organized. You can have a ton of photos, and sometimes to a degree that may slow down your devices. And I have to say, I've been on the fence of finding a really good app to find all the duplicates in my photo library, because as someone who's wants to double, triple, and quadruple check that all my photo memories are there. This was especially true for our wedding and baby photos, my son's baby photos. And it was so important for me that I would import these photos multiple times, but I didn't know how many times, and there was just a lot of duplicates. So I just recently, I know there's many different apps on many different platforms. I tried a few in the last few years and didn't find a really successful one until Apple just finally came out with one. And I finally ran that whole scan. I think it was close to 180,000 images. Now, a lot of those are screenshots as well, because I don't remember things very well, so I screenshot a lot on my phone. But it also was, those wedding photos that we had taken on film, then they scanned and gave us discs for, and then we imported them when we had a disc on our computer, and they've been sitting there ever since. So I have to say, just running that new, I think it's in the latest form of Mac OS, and I'm trying to remember which one that is, and that's not, I have it right in front of me. Let's see about this Mac. It is on Ventura. I have 1301, so this is as of November 29th of 2022. Anyway, I did use that for, it took about, I want to say only about 15 minutes to go through and see the comparisons and see that I could actually trust the software. Because before I had run many tests and I just really didn't trust. I used Gemini and some other things on the Mac, and it just wasn't successful for me. So maybe there are Google versions of this that have been successful for a while. I just know that on the Mac, I was so thrilled to be able to take my 180 and get it down to 130,000. And I'm a photographer. I take tons of pictures all the time. So that is one thing to do. But I think another form of all of this is just your desktop and your downloads area of your computer. And a lot of times it's just kind of random what ends up there. There can be images and PDFs and receipts. And what else is there? Little movies. I know for me, movies and audio files, animated GIFs or GIFs, whatever wheelhouse you are with the naming of that. I prefer to use an app called Hazel on the Mac, and what it does is it sorts those files into, I actually say this file type goes into this folder, and then I name those folders by their types. Do you need to buy an app for this? No, you can actually take your downloads folder and go to the top and sort by kind. And I want to say why this matters, especially for those who are neurodivergent. When you are sorting through a type of a file, it's easier for your mind to comprehend that kind of file. So sorting them by a certain kind. So your mind's like, I'm going through photos right now. So let me go through these photos and make decisions. And when you hit one photo after another and you're looking at them and previewing them, it can really help your mind go, okay, this is what I want to, focus on right now. And then go, okay, I've gone through all my photos here. Let's go through the PDFs. And then you're going through those and you can use less decision-making power because you're kind of in that mode already. And then you can walk away and come back and choose a different file type. Maybe they're all audio files and you're there listening to each one. So if you're jumping around from one kind to the other, it takes a lot of brain power for just about anyone to go, okay, now I'm listening, now I'm looking, now I'm reading, now I'm bouncing around. So if you can do that and take some time and say, okay, I'm going to start where I am right now. I may not be able to backtrack and do everything, but I am going to start right now and do this for 10 minutes. And then you know that there's an end time and you can say, okay, that's all that I'm doing. And then come back to it another time. Also, if you are wanting to include this into your everyday, meaning maybe once a day you're going through your downloads, or maybe once a week, it's totally up to you. I do it about once a week. I find that once a week, if I go through my kind of routine of cleaning up my files, that means offloading my podcast and my YouTube files onto an external disk. That means making sure my email, junk, spam is emptied out, and then my trash is emptied out on my email, all my email. And just looking at my downloads and plucking those out and doing whatever. Maybe I want to place them somewhere, like in photos. Maybe I want to save them in a certain area. Maybe they're podcast covers that I'm saving for my newsletter. Like I direct them to where they need to be. And then I'm done. So it's like probably 20 minutes a week at the most. And if I skip a week, I know that it's okay and I can go back to that routine. But what we can get caught up in is like, oh, we have to backtrack. Oh, we have to go back and like get them all done before we can move forward. And that's not true. That's actually, you can start doing your routine in the 20 minutes that you have, 10 or 20 minutes each week, and starting there. And then if you want to dedicate more time to work backwards a little, you can, but it's actually better to start moving forwards so you feel that rhythm of that routine every week than to be stuck in going, okay, now I have, 100 files to go through. Okay, next week I have 140 files to go through. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, next week I have 180 files to go through. Okay, I don't think I can ever get to that this weekend. And then you keep putting it off because the number keeps growing and growing. So start where you are. Don't worry about working backwards. And see what you can do in about 10 minutes. And then see if you can incorporate that into your life for the next week. Do a little each day. Do once a week. Whatever fits you. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.